Hey queens, and shout out to my kings too. Welcome back to Be the Rain. My name is Salimatou, or you can call me Sali, whatever floats your boat. So today I'm back with a girl talk video. This is actually, I think, my first girl talk video. I've done like chit chat, get ready with me's and stuff, but I just wanted to do a quick like little sit down video and talk to the girls or whatever. As you can see from the title, I am now married. Alhamdulilah, here's my ring. I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all a little bit about my Nikkah journey and like the story of it happening during a pandemic. Y'all it was something. This video won't really be like super structured. It'll be more like real like chill, and then if later you guys want me to like go into more detail about any one topic, then I can definitely do that. But I do have like little categories, I guess, just so I can kind of stay on track. But I just wanted to give y'all a little background. So I got engaged at the end of January, so it was kind of like a 2-month turnaround trying to plan everything. And I think like we didn't realize how close it was, so it was a lot of like last minute things going on, as you see with like with the rest of the things. I like through the process I didn't really get many pictures or videos, but whatever I do find, I will go ahead and throw them right here on the side so you can see like exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we had about 2 months to plan our Nikkah. And if you're not familiar, Nikkah basically is an Islamic wedding ceremony, so it means that you will be married under God's eyes. And in that ceremony you do have to have a like a marriage certificate as well, like through the state or the county. I think it's a county. So like you have to have both of those for it to actually come together and be for the ceremony to actually take place. So we probably did that the marriage certification maybe 2 weeks beforehand, before our wedding date, our Nikkah date, because I think it gives you like 90 days or 30 days, something like that. I didn't do it, so I'm not really sure, but it gives you a certain time frame of when you need to have the ceremony done by, or it will expire. So yeah, we got that done like 2 weeks beforehand, and then yeah, I don't know like where to really start. Like this, it was good, it was stressful, it was a heavy time, it was a like bruh, like why time, you know, because like having to plan all this in the short amount of time span that we did and during the pandemic made it pretty stressful. Like honestly, it made it pretty stressful. And I'm just gonna say alhamdulillah, like through the whole way God had our back. Like I can't just alhamdulillah. I guess to stay on track, so I'm just not like, you know, just talking and not really talking about much, I'm gonna go ahead and look at what I had, like the different categories. I didn't really write much. It kind of was just like these little points of what I should hit. So I gave y'all a little bit of background. We had 2 months to plan, and then we didn't really start planning until like March. I don't know why. So yeah, there's that. A little bit more about the background. So I am Malian, and that is a country in West Africa. So we have a lot of different traditions. This honestly could be like a whole video in itself. Like there's a lot of different traditions that we have to kind of like follow. So you do this, I'm gonna just go through it real quickly, and if y'all want me to elaborate later, then I can. What you do is, it's something called a wudu. So if a man wants to marry a woman, he has to come, his family has to come to the woman's family and give a wudu. So that's basically like his intention to marry the girl. And there are 3 wudus. So me and my husband are from different states, so we kind of just had to do it all in one go kind of thing. And then there are delegates, so they had somebody that they knew in Philadelphia that would come to my house and give the additional wudus. In our culture, we have delegates. So my uncle was my wali, and that's basically like the person who, I guess, like, I hate this phrasing, but gives me away, or like the person who is like, you know, supposed to be the overseer. and the protector of me. And then my husband's side had my husband had his delegate as well. It wouldn't necessarily be called a wali because he's a man, and if he wanted to get married on his own he could, in Islam. So that's an important differentiation to make, is like Islam and culture are not, they don't always mesh. It's not going to always be the same thing. So yeah, so some of the stuff will be from culture, and then some of the stuff will be from Islam. So let's go ahead and start with, since I was already talking about the culture part of it. So yeah, you need the wudu. So basically the intention to marry the woman, if the woman has to agree. So my uncle called me and he was basically like, you know, like, it's, you know how uncles are, and then giving like the talk, like, you know, you gotta respect your husband and you gotta make sure that you want to actually be doing this because it's like something that's really serious. And he asked me like straight up, like, is this what you want? Do you want to marry my husband's name? And I'm like, yes. So it's kind of like, that's the Islam part of it. You need to ask the woman's permission. So a lot of times I think there's a misconception that like think about this. I think I'm gonna make this a series because this is gonna be mad long, bro. But anyways, there is mostly like the misconception that like Muslim women don't have the choice on who they want to marry, or that it's like a forced type of thing. But in Islam, the women cannot be forced to be married. That's more of a culture thing. So that's a differentiation there. So yeah, we talked on the phone. He asked me, etc, etc. So then we went, I of course said yes, and then we went along past that point. So then past the wudu's. Hey, so I actually forgot to mention that a very important part of the marriage contract is that there must be a dowry or more, which basically is like a marriage gift. So it's what the man gives to the bride as a marriage gift. So it can be like a monetary gift, it can be cash, it can be property, it can be like certain objects, etc. So that is a dowry, and that's both in obviously Islam and it's in culture. Then an additional thing in culture is that, oh my god, it's so loud where it's usually not this loud though, like why? But I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully it's not annoying to y'all. But so an additional thing in culture is there's like a suitcase that's given to the bride, 1, 2, 3, how many ever suitcases that the man side of the family would like to give to the woman, and that's basically filled with a whole bunch of clothes, jewelry, shoes, perfume, etc. So like, well, y'all did see it over there, but all of that perfume that's over there are gifts from my amazing in-laws. So yeah, it's just basically gifts. So that's Islam. I mean, so that's culture, and then basically the dowry is Islam and culture. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because that's really important part. If that is not given before the Nikkah or like during the Nikkah, then it can't happen. So yeah. So then past the wudu's, then it could come the Nikkah ceremony. But for the women, typically there's something called a konobuliso. So I honestly don't even want to explain what that means, but basically the woman has to be in the house for I think 3 days before she gets married, and she can't really eat like solid foods like or anything like that. I personally didn't do this yet, so I don't really know the details and I can't say that word. I don't know the details of it, but basically a woman can't really leave the house, and she needs to, you know, like stay in and not really be like eating, or you can't really talk that much. This is culture, okay? Malian culture. It has nothing to do with Islam. So yeah, there's that. And then there's the wedding ceremony. So that's called the Nikkah, and that's when you go to the masjid, you go and you have the ceremony there. Apparently, I didn't know this, but the woman doesn't really have to be there. I wasn't really aware of that, but yeah, so the woman doesn't really have to be there. But my uncle asked me, he's like, you gonna be there? I'm like, it's my wedding, and yes, I will be there. So yeah, so then the Nikkah ceremony happens. And then in culture, I really want to make that clear because Islam is very simple, culture is complicated, okay? So yeah, so the Nikkah ceremony happens, and then it's sunnah, so which means that it's basically like customary, and it's like you get good deeds from it, and it's like in the Prophet's days, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his days, these are the things that they used to do. So we want to follow what they used to do. So that's the sunnah. So the sunnah is to have something called a walima, and that's basically where you feed people. So you can have it at the masjid, you can do it at a venue or whatever. So you feed people. So that's that. And then after the Nikkah and the Walima, which for some cultures they do it on different days, some cultures just do it all together, etc. So in Malian culture, after the Nikkah and the Walima, there's something called the Koyonsu. So that basically is like called the marriage house, and that is where the man and the woman, technically in Africa, they will have to stay in the house for 7 days, and basically in one room for 7 days, and you can't leave. But in America it's a little bit more lenient. Like, you know, sometimes like the man, if he has to work, he can go out to work. Usually the woman has to stay in though. That's the koyoso. I didn't do the konabuliso, I didn't do the koyoso. So the only things that I did were the Nikkah and the Walima. And I also forgot one thing. There's something called kun koli. So basically, kun is hair, koli is wash. So basically wash hair and feet. It usually happens at the Walima, if you choose to like have a venue. Some people do it in their house, but I didn't do that either. We didn't do any of that. We kept it very, very simple. Me and my husband, we really wanted things to be very, very, very simple, but it was very difficult to do that because we both have pretty big families. So even like with the amount of people, like keeping it to a minimum during COVID was like something that was heavily on our brains, because I hate to say this, but Africans really don't care. Like, they don't. Like, if they're not invited, they will come, and it's just like, you know them, you don't know them, they coming. So one thing that I must say is that we were very, very grateful for how our Nikkah turned out, because I know I'm jumping forward, but I just wanted to say this. We're very grateful for how it turned out because we were able to keep it to a reasonable amount of people for the amount of people that would normally come to events like this. So yeah, that is the background. Now let's go ahead and talk about how it works in Islam. So Islam, hey, Alhamdulilah, Islam is very simple, y'all. And I love that it's very simple. So like intention, glory or more, the Nikkah ceremony, the Walima, sefin, that's it. In Malian culture, Malians. In Malian culture, it's like 7 things that you have to do, whereas in Islam it's only 3. So we make things more complicated than it needs to be. So, but yeah, I mean, it's still a good experience though, learning the way that my culture does it, because I don't know, it's still good. But yeah, so that's the kind of like the difference between the two. This video kind of turned out differently than I thought it was gonna be, because now that I'm thinking about it, bruh, what is that noise? Oh my god, yo. Hopefully it's not loud, but now that I'm thinking about it, I am thinking that this should be a series, because there's just so much to talk about. Like, that is all for today. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video and that it was informative. And yeah, your girl married you, alhamdulillah. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that y'all enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe down below, and oh my god, bro, it's getting louder. Let me just finish this off. Be sure to subscribe down below and join the family. Like this video if you like this video, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next one. Bye.